Whether you're watching your favorite NBA team at the arena, the bar, or hanging at home, grab an ice-cold Michelob Ultra and enjoy every moment of the NBA season. Stock up today and watch your team drop buckets with a bucket full of ice-cold Ultra. Michelob Ultra. Superior light beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2026 Anheuser-Busch. Michelob Ultra. Registered light beer. St. Louis, Missouri. Must be 21 plus to order alcohol. Alcohol available only in select markets.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
If we knew more about our sleep, what would we do differently? Would we go to bed at a consistent time or take steps to reduce interruptions to our sleep? With Sleep Score, Apple Watch measures your bedtime consistency, interruptions, and sleep duration. Then, every morning it combines these factors into an easy-to-understand score from 1 to 100. So you'll know how to take the quality of your sleep from okay to very high. Know your sleep score with Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
Hello there, Stanley Carr here. You know, I love collecting music and sports memorabilia. Want to know where you can find some? I'll tell you. Go to oldglory.com. This website features one-of-a-kind apparel from your favorite sports teams and musical artists. And I can help you get 15% off of all items. Use the code WWH135. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to Wrestling with Heart, a podcast looking at pro wrestlers giving back to their community. Join me, Stanley Carr, as I interview wrestling's hottest names who use their platforms as entertainers to raise awareness and do community service.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Heart. This is the show where we talk with professional wrestlers and professional wrestling personalities about their lives in and outside of the ring, as well as doing acts of charity work, community service, volunteering, and spreading positivity. We're always about the positive vibes here on the show. Before I introduce my guest today, I would like to take this time to plug our brand new book. You can see it right here, Champions for a Cause, Volume 1. It is a collection of interviews with some of the legends of professional wrestling. I'm talking about Mark Marrow, Jake the Snake Roberts, Tito Santana, Al Snow, and so many others. You can find it now on Amazon for $15 in paperback. So go ahead and purchase your copy today. But right now, I've got a very special guest. She is an independent women's wrestler, wrestled all over the world for 25 plus years, and has rubbed shoulders and competed against some of the biggest names in professional wrestling. I'm talking about the one and only Crystal White. Welcome to Wrestling with Heart.
Hello, thank you for having me.
It is my pleasure. So, from Chicago, Illinois, growing up a wrestling fan, do you remember your first kind of experience watching professional wrestling?
Well, as far as I know, everybody watched wrestling growing up. You know, we had my grandma's house, and I was sitting in front of the TV, and it came on all the time too. So yes, we were a big fans of wrestling growing up.
And Chicago's such a huge market for wrestling, and the independent scene is white hot right now. So there's really like no better market to really kind of grow up in and be around, because there's a lot happening. So who would you say were some of your favorites to watch?
Well, obviously, you know, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man. I was a huge fan of Rick Rude. I loved Scary Sherry. I love Luna Vachon. I like the old school stuff. I was a big fan of that.
Yeah, and I think too, like, you talk about characters, larger than life personalities, and I feel like each one really brought something out and was eye opening, made you go, "Oh my gosh, did you see what this guy did? Did you see what this guy said? Look at what she's wearing. Like, look at what this guy's wearing." And it's like, it makes you want to tune in every week because you're just drawn to these people.
No, of course. Of course.
Growing up, were you big into sports? Did you play a lot of sports?
Well, in high school, I was on the wrestling team in high school. I did a little bit of volleyball and a little bit of track and field. Did backstroke in the swim team for a year, but I wrestled all 4 years in high school.
Wow. So amateur wrestling.
Yes. I don't know if too many people know about that or not, but I got the one picture of me, and I think my first match ever, my freshman year, on my Facebook.
Let's talk about that. So was this like co-ed? Was this male and female?
This was back like, mid-90s, and I honestly got into wrestling the summer before my freshman year, and they had a couple of guys from Northwestern College come in to the camp, to the park to, teach us some sports, and they had the usual basketball and stuff like that. But I saw them rolling around on the mats, and like by that time I was kind of one of the bigger kids anyway, and I hated basketball. I had no desire to do it, and I saw these guys doing moves and training some of the kids. I kind of, migrated over there, and then they were like, "Oh, you be good. You should try out for the team in high school." And low key, I thought it was gonna be something like on TV, which it obviously wasn't, but it was better than what it was on TV back then. And and I kind of got roped into that, and then I fell in love with it.
So I'd imagine, because a lot of people that do amateur wrestling, they transition to the pro ranks. And so with your story, how do you feel like being in amateur wrestling helped prepare you for the world of professional wrestling?
I mean, it definitely helped with the basics. The headlock takeovers and fireman's carry, which is still probably one of my favorite moves to use, But it just made you, I guess, more comfortable getting thrown around and throwing people around. So it definitely gave me the advantage in my younger years.
Did you always know you wanted to be a pro wrestler, or did you kind of sort of fall into it a little bit later on?
I'd say I figured it out probably my freshman year. Like I was like, oh, well, I want to do this forever. And to me, it was almost like a gateway doing that in high school, getting in pros. And, back then they had Windy City Pro Wrestling. So that would come on the cable access every week. So it was like, oh, it's somewhere local and they got a training place. My mind was set up.
Yeah, you wanted it. You wanted to do this. And so you called the number for the training school. I've had people on, they talk to me about their experiences with training. Walk me through what your experiences were like. And at any point that you felt, gee, this is kind of hard, but I have this drive, I have this passion for this. Did you feel at times you wanted to stop? Did you feel at times you wanted to quit? And what was that big motivator for you to keep going?
I mean, actually there was quite a couple of kids that came out of my high school that got in the independent circuit before I graduated, and and I was shy growing up and everything. So I would say that was probably the hardest part. Like I was convinced I wanted to do it. And like getting into training and practice, I'm young, I'm athletic. Like the training wasn't hard for me or anything like that. It was just so much as being comfortable being around, like it was a grown up job at that point doing the pro wrestling. But nothing hard training it, If I could do it all over again, I would,
Coming from an athletic background, you're kind of used to using your body, and it's like a contact sport because you have to really like work with your opponent and really have to stay engaged and involved, pay attention to what's going on around you. So you're working with your partners, being able to do these moves, execute these moves, make sure you're not getting injured or injuring your opponent. And so what were some pieces of advice from your trainers early on that you can recall that stick with you today, all these years later, that you're still applying?
Well, shit. I mean, she's my friend. I'll try to keep the cursor to it. But well, like I said, my trainers, like my one trainer, Mike Anthony, he had a background in collegiate stuff and everything, and it's just no. But I mean, as far as I don't know, but like I said, I'm an old school person. Like I'm all about like I want it to be a good match. I want it to be good show. Like I've never really had the attitude of like make it all about me sort of thing, because it is a partnership when you're out there in the ring. But yeah,
yeah. So you've been in front of audiences before with the sport, so you feel confident, comfortable. So I'd imagine when you're wrestling and you have your first few matches in the business, I'd imagine you're not as nervous, but were there periods of time where you're like, oh my gosh, this is all new to me. I don't know if I can do this.
Back then, not really, but I'd say later on in my career, obviously, like when I wrestled out in Mexico for the first time last year. Like I'm not a luchadora, so of course I agreed to do it. I wanted to, and I was just, well, once I was out there, it wasn't like, oh, this is out of my league, I can't do it. Like I don't speak Spanish, but with the crowd and the people, the other wrestlers in the locker room, it was really like all the stuff I was nervous about was pretty much in my head at that point. Like I could do no wrong when I was out there wrestling for them, and they absolutely love the Americana. Like no, so like I've been doing it so long. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's like second nature, but I do it. Like, so I have no reason to be nervous about matchups and anything. Cause like I said, I've been doing this, since mid-90s as far as all kinds of wrestling. So
it's become muscle memory.
Yeah.
Once you're able to do it one time, you remember it in your head, and it's repetition. And the more you work at it, you start getting better. Just like
exactly.
with anything else. So you've had the opportunity to wrestle in so many different countries around the world. You'd mentioned Mexico. You've wrestled in the Caribbean as well. Talk about that experience.
I was they haven't had pro wrestling out there, I guess, in the Caribbean for like 30 years, like since the 90s. And even then they didn't have any women's matches. So I was lucky enough to win the first ever women's match in Trinidad a couple of years back. And that whole experience for the Trinidad trip was absolutely amazing. Like I never really talk about it a lot, but I'm like, of all the things I've done, that's got to be like the coolest experience,
When you go to countries that have never really seen wrestling before, except maybe on their television, it's an amazing opportunity and a treat for those fans to experience it. So places like Trinidad, places like Jamaica, different places around the globe that haven't had that opportunity to get wrestling in their hometown, in their neighborhood, have that experience. And for you to be a part of such an historic moment, that's a feather in your cap.
No, I mean, it was a very cool show. Like I still think about it. Like it was amazing.
When you go to these different countries, you learn so much about different cultures. What stuff can you tell me from countries that you've been to have been some of your favorite parts about visiting and traveling there?
I mean, you don't really get to experience any of the culture unless you like go out and about, like go and like we went out to dinner. And then there's one place in the Caribbean, but it was like they had a little bit of like an outside area and people could dance. And I think, what was it, Miss World 1986 was out there and stuff, and like I said, I'm a Chicago girl. I like the nightlife, and that's how you get to see how stuff is. So I got to do a little dancing and dress up and have fun. And that's what I like to do. I like to cut out and do stuff outside of wrestling when I'm with wrestling shows like that, because then everybody gets to relax and have a good time. And it was pretty neat.
What countries would you say have been your favorite to wrestle in?
Well, outside of the Caribbean and Mexico, oh no, I would say Mexico for sure, because they're really into wrestling out there. Like that's the biggest thing. So to wrestle out there for them, and they all fill up these arenas and places and stuff. And
yeah, I mean, they're passionate. They love professional wrestling, especially with the Lucha Libre and the history that they have there. It's a big market right now. And so you've had the opportunity to be around all these different people, wrestle so many different matches, network with so many talents. Who would you say have been some of your favorite opponents that you've gotten to step in the ring with over the years?
Well, I'd say the most notable would be when I wrestled Scary Sherry in Evansville, Indiana. And that was probably like the second year, in my career. And it, obviously so long ago, I don't even know if there's footage where it would be of it. There's no pictures that I know of it, but getting a one-on-one match with her was amazing. I wrestled against Luna Vachon in the tag match in Chicago, and there's a couple of pictures of that actually floating around. As far as in the indies, I've always had great matches with Maserati. I've wrestled Hollywood Haley a couple of times. Like, I think she's a delight. Like those two girls in particular, I feel like I always have to work to the best of my abilities in the match with them. So there's a couple.
Yeah, and the thing is like we're talking about the independent scene. It's really come so far in the last 5 or 10 years, especially because you're seeing all these guys, these girls, really making a name for themselves. You also got to be on OVW television in the last couple of years as well. Talk to me about that experience.
I mean, yeah, I was down there, and the only thing is I wish I could have wrestled more while I was out there. So, but I was with Katie Gannon and Ryan Von Rocket. We were like the Rockettes. So, but the good thing about OVW is that it kind of helped get you comfortable.
This is what everyone's talking about.
Everything's on the table.
This is what champions come to take. This is what everyone came to see.
And the slam!
No do-overs. No second chances. No more Mr. Nice Guy. This is winner take all. And it's all happening now on the home of the NBA Finals. Don't miss it. June 3rd on ABC and the ESPN app.
On TV stuff and being in front of the camera and having you're working different than when you're just at a regular independent show.
They're giving you that learning experience.
Oh, for sure.
Like a no holds barred learning experience. They give you that education, and they really want the talent to succeed, which I think is amazing, because with wrestling having another big boom period like it is right now with all these different companies, the talent is going to go far and go wrestle for either WWE or AEW or Ring of Honor, and you're helping be a part of that development. working with these people. And so
I would like to think so.
yeah, and you're passing on that knowledge that you were given. You talked about Sherry Martel, wrestling her. That's such a full circle experience. Here you are growing up watching her on TV, and now you're getting to be in the ring with her.
No, like I don't think anybody could have a cooler match experience than me with that,
And I think too, it's like you got butterflies in your stomach when you're toe to toe with somebody that you felt, I want to be like this person. I want to step in the ring and be like Sherry. And she was very tough. Very tough. Now, doing a little bit of research, I noticed that you had auditioned for Tough Enough.
A couple of times. I actually made the top 25 in the first Tough Enough. And it was close, but no cigar. I was really bummed out I didn't make it, but no,
Well, did you get to go to like the casting specials?
Oh, yeah. We did all the whole 9 yards. It was probably like 5,000 people. And I seen a couple of faces while we were in the holding room, and like you could kind of tell like who stood out a little bit. Like I said, I was young, I was shy. It was my first time flying on a plane by myself anywhere, and it was a big ordeal and stuff. But I don't know. I feel maybe a little bit of my nerves and having that outgoing personality might have held me back a little bit.
And you're seeing like stars come out too. You mentioned earlier you're trying to see like who was popping out, and it's like, oh my gosh, here's Taz or Al Snow. Here's
speaking of which, Jacqueline was there too, if I'm not mistaken, and I ended up in a 3-way match with her maybe a few years after that in Indiana randomly. I almost forgot. Yeah, I wrestled Jacqueline.
What was it like being in the ring with Jackie?
Oh, you said Sherry was tough. Jacqueline's tough, but that was probably one of my better matches. And there might be footage floating around somewhere of that. I have to be proactive and look for some of this stuff,
I'm sure. Do you keep up at all with the current product as far as the talent's concerned? Do you go, man, I wish I could step in the ring with this person, or this girl's got it? You ever?
Honestly, I try to keep up on it here and there, but low key, I really don't. I went out there for Mania weekend to Vegas, and we're seeing all these new faces and all these new people, and for like some of like. I don't keep up what's on TV. It's so much as far as I like to see who's in my, space of it. But no, I couldn't tell you anybody's names or anything.
Women's wrestling, it's grown so much. It really has taken off, and it's going to get even bigger. So as the demand's going to grow, the more opportunities there are. So it's really in a good place.
Yeah, it is. But it's like, I remember when it was like, it almost felt like an exclusive club to be in. Now it's kind of in that everybody could do it. Everybody's in it. I mean, it's cool. They talk about it on ESPN now. So,
it's mainstream. It's huge.
100%.
Well, I want to talk now about the opportunities that you've had to be a part of some amazing events. You've been a part of several fundraisers over the years, including one that you did recently. It was for the Fireman's Picnic. Describe the feeling of being a part of this type of fundraiser, and what was the feeling like heading into the event?
I mean, honestly, that's one of my favorite shows to do with Great Lakes, and all the people are, the weather's great, the people are into it, you get to rub elbows with everybody. It's fun. Like I said, that's one of my top shows I've done over the past couple of summers.
I know they had a bunch of talent from OVW, NWA. They had so many independent names that were on the show, but I raised money for the fire department.
Yeah.
So you're being a part of this. It's like you're doing good for a good cause. Describe the feeling of being a part of such a momentous cause like this.
I mean, well, like I said, I do it for the wrestling aspect and being able to entertain people and, we put on a good show. Everyone loves it. And I try to, when I'm up there, I try to stick around and hang out for the music that they have and everything. Like I make it like a little vacation time for me as well when I'm up there for it,
Well, it has to feel good knowing that you're supporting a cause that is very important and you're making a difference in the community.
Well, I feel like almost any show I do is kind of in the same realm,
Are there any causes that you're very passionate about?
As far as
just in general, whether it's homelessness or animal rescue.
I mean, I guess you could say women's causes and whatnot, because, women, there was a time where women weren't seen as being able to do this stuff. So anytime I do a show and all the little girls come up to me and they love my outfit, they like me, and it's good to give like good woman representation in it,
It definitely is. And so like we're talking about, you're seeing so many of these people that want to be wrestlers, just like you had a dream to become a wrestler. Now they're hopefully going to do the same thing and want to get into it. And I think too, you talk about women's causes. There's so much out there that we want to spread awareness of and want to bring to people's attention. And so being a part of these causes, I think will inspire others to give back too.
Okay.
But when you're out there, going to do these fundraisers, it's going to go to a good cause, and you're spreading awareness. It's very, it's vital. It's very vital that people know that this is happening, and this is happening for a reason. So for you, Crystal, what is it about giving back that gives you the most joy?
Like I said, I've been doing this almost 27 years now. So anytime I can, just the fact that I could still be in it and be a part of it, it means a lot to me, I guess.
Yeah. And being on the road and doing this now for 26 years, what are your goals that you haven't been able to do yet in wrestling? What would you like to do?
I mean, like I said, I was the first women's match in the Caribbean. I got to wrestle in Mexico. If I could make it in like one of the bigger leagues, that'd be awesome. But if not, there's lots to do in the independent circuit. It still get the same kind of fulfillment and satisfaction in it,
Yeah, and I think too, there's so many opportunities for people in the business that don't just have to wrestle. They can go and be announcers, managers, commentators, work backstage as a producer and agent. Is that something you have interest in?
I mean, when I go to shows, I bring all my makeup. I bring extra accessories and gear. I always try to make sure all the girls feel confident and pretty when they get out there, so it's not the most important part, but it is kind of the important part,
And so it's like a complete package. So when you go to these shows, you see the extravagant sets that are built, the elaborate sets and the unique designs that are created in the ring and how all that's set up. So being a part of that, I think is it's one of those things where it's like you're a part of a team that's helping make the show look good. So that might be something to consider.
No, of course. I've never really pictured myself not doing something with the business, even after I retire or something, because like I said, I like doing it, and I've been in it so long. I feel like I 100% have more to give to others in the business.
Do you have a particular favorite fundraiser that you were involved with other than the one?
I mean, outside of Fireman's Picnic?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I guess not really. I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head either. So
Okay. Well, that's probably the biggest one, I'd imagine, that you've been involved with, I guess. We talked earlier about all the different countries that you have wrestled in over the years. Is there one particular country that you haven't been yet that you'd like to wrestle in at some point?
I've definitely gotten a few messages about wrestling up in Canada, and before my body gives out on me, it'll be a blast to get out there to like Japan or something,
Yeah. I could
Open to Europe. I know a lot of people are going like on European tours, so I got my passport. I'm absolutely down for that.
All right. Well, definitely could see that happen in the future. Europe is a great wrestling area, and I think that great place, great opportunities there for people if they want to go and wrestle, compete. Europe's one of those for sure. Well, Crystal, I want to say thank you for coming on to Wrestling with Heart. It means a lot to me and to my listeners and viewers that are watching this on YouTube. Where can people find more about you on social media? And if you have anything you want to plug, feel free.
Well, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at Urban Eras. Got my little Twitter account, Urban_Eras. You can find a lot of my matches on YouTube, and no, I'm trying to get back in the ring probably at the end of this month, top of June. I had to take a couple of months off to let my body heal up from all the injuries I piled up last year, but I got some new gear in the works, and I'll be ready to rock and roll in a couple of weeks. So I'll definitely keep everybody posted.
All right.
I was supposed to have a match against Miranda Gordy, but I think that show was called off at the end of this month. So my end of May is open and June. So,
All right. Well, we hope to see you in the ring soon. Looking forward to it. Thanks again, Crystal, and you're more than welcome to come back.
Thank you.
All right. And one more time, just want to plug it one more time here. Don't forget, if you're interested, check out Wrestling with Hearts, Champions for a Cause, Volume 1. You can get your copy now on Amazon for $15. I'm talking about interviews with people like Jake Roberts, Mark Merrow, Al Snow, so many others. Buy your copy today.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
This is Wrestling with Heart. I hope you found this podcast to be informative and entertaining. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and look out for the next edition.